August 10th, 2016. It feels like, hey, first of all, yay, I made it back to China. It definitely feels like 2 days in one, just because the whole flying west thing. I want to say 2 days ago, but I think, yeah, officially it is really just one day. I actually probably need to backtrack even further. So, had a lovely time with the family and just hanging out on Vancouver Island for a few days. And, yeah, it was a really good 3 days, nice and relaxing. And probably the last time also that I should say the first time that I've been able to use a laundry machine again, and I think that also means that I don't have any more laundry to do until I get back to Chongqing, so no more hand washing in the sink or anything. Yeah, so after a lovely 3 days, I got on the ferry, and then I ended up at the airport and slept at Vancouver Airport. So I think that's probably my third or fourth on this trip of sleeping in airports. And I actually got a pretty good sleep for the most part, and I woke up around, must have been 6:30, 7 o'clock, and they have at the hotel on site at the airport, the Fairmont, they have a shower and a gym pass. So I got that, and yeah, had a really good workout, first in far too long, and then had a shower, just really took my time, and then checked in at like 8:30 or whatever for the flight. Oh no, I had breakfast. I don't know. It's too much to think about at the moment, I think. But anyway, I got on the flight. It was all good, and then we got here in Shenyang 1:30 local time. I have no idea what that is in Vancouver time, but it was about an 11-ish hour flight. Arrived into Shenyang, and then caught a bus. It's so nice to be back in China where everything is stupid cheap. I also needed to say that. You get on a bus it probably took maybe 45 minutes, possibly up to an hour on this bus. And it is 15 kwai, so $3. It was $3. And it took me into the North train station, so I got off the bus there, and then I walked for about maybe 4 or 5 kilometers to a hotel that I had booked. As soon as I landed in Shenyang, I booked a hotel. So the walk didn't really. I actually really enjoyed the walk, I think, because after having sat in airplanes and just aside from the workout, not really doing that much. And I knew that I wanted, I'm here partly to see the city here. So I was going to probably be walking around for an hour, so I thought I might as well make that from the train station to the hotel. So here I am, and it's, again, ridiculously cheap because it's China. So I have 2 nights here before flying back to Chongqing. One of the great things about this city is that it's really close to the North Korean border. And I've never even been to South Korea, let alone North Korea, but tomorrow I have just booked a train nice and late so that I can sleep until whenever. Oh, more on that in a moment. But booked a train for probably 10:30 or something. It's like the North Korea Express train, because it takes me right up to the border where I can have a look at North Korea. So really excited about that. And Other things that I'm looking forward to tomorrow is that I found out when I checked in here that they have this huge big buffet breakfast for $5. So count me signed up for that. Starts at 6 and it's only 4:30, so it's 4:30 local time right now. And I obviously am already in bed because it's probably 2 or 3 a.m. in Vancouver time. So if I go to sleep in the next maybe couple hours, then I will be up well and truly ready for breakfast tomorrow, a few hours at the buffet, and then onto this train to the border of North Korea. I have no idea how long I'll want to spend down there. Maybe it's just like an hour thing where I go, yep, I've seen as much of North Korea as I want to, and I'm out of here. So I haven't done anything with the return trip to Shenyang. We'll play it by ear, but I definitely intend on being back here tomorrow night for that second night, obviously, because I booked. Yeah, and then after tomorrow night, I've got one full day mostly full day here in the city. There's really, I had a look, even in the hotel guide thingy, about all the crazy exciting things to do in this area. There's some statue of a communist guy. There's a place just outside of the city that has a magnetic hill, so the tourists take their cars over and they go backwards uphill or whatever. And then, so I won't be going to either one of those two, but they do have an imperial palace, and that actually looks quite good. So, I don't know if that probably will not take me a day. Anyway, I'm probably getting way ahead of myself, looking at 2 days out. But so tomorrow should be a really good one. I'm really just looking forward to a good night's sleep tonight. It's nice, as okay as it is sleeping in airports. It's nice to first of all be back in China, and second of all to have a bed. And it even occurred to me within the first few minutes. There was like 3 things that happened, and I think I can only remember 2 just now. But I knew that I was back in China because within minutes of getting on this bus and leaving the airport, there was the obligatory little person doing his business, as in like little kid, doing his business on a major street, just out for everybody to see, like just squat and do. And then there was this advertisement of these 3 girls all dressed up in their finest communist clothing, and then I can't remember what the third one was, but it was just like, oh my goodness, oh, that's right, yeah. So before I even left the airport, like to get this ticket for the bus, there was like 5 people that just shoved and pushed in front of me at the counter, at the desk. And I was like, yes, I'm back in China. And just the chaoticness. I mean, the city is 7 million, so it doesn't even compete with Chongqing. And yet, just stepping out from the bus station is just chaos. Like, it's an absolute mess of people doing crazy things and going in crazy directions and honking their horns. And for all of that, yes, I'm very happy to be back in China. And I'm ready to, in a couple days, to get back to Chongqing. There really isn't much comparison between Europe as far as wonderful as this trip has been through the Middle East and Europe and everywhere. It cannot compete with the adventure and crazy factor that China has on offer. So it's right back in the thick of things here in China, and that's good. I like that. yes, I'm pretty sure that's all Oh, Jack. Jack was like the chattiest Kathy. I want to come up with some sort of chatty Kathy equivalent for Jack, but from the moment I sat down, Jack was sat next to me on the plane, and he's lived in Canada for the past 10 years or something. He's a high school student, and he left China when he was really young because his mom told him that he was to go live in Canada on his own. No family, no nothing, just boarding school for like 10 years. And he sees his family once every 2 or 3 years. To me, it's crazy. And for him, of course, like Canada is pretty much all he knows. So he doesn't want to go back to China, but his parents have already laid down the law and said, no, you're coming back to China to take over the family business as soon as you graduate. So Jack wasn't an especially happy camper about that. But anyway, the very unique thing about Jack, aside from the fact that he was constantly chatting, was that he was shuffling his card. He brought along this deck of cards, and for all 11 hours, he just sat there shuffling cards and throwing cards up into the air, like sort of flicking them, and then they would land and he would catch them. And I don't know if he was trained to be a magician or something, but the deck of cards, he would even watch movies. Like, he would watch movies on his phone, he would watch movies on his seat in front. He would be talking, but always shuffling these cards. Jack is very special and unique. And I guess, I don't know, he felt as though he needed to, like, even though the flight crew, also, they were actually really good. Like, this is with Sichuan Airlines, and they were actually probably the most fluently bilingual crew that I've come across in any Chinese airline ever. Their English was really good, and yet he felt the need to get my meals for me and to ask me what I wanted to drink and then to relay this on to the flight crew. I'm not too sure, but for what reason? I'm perfectly capable of getting food and drinks and all that. Anyway, he was a very unique kind of guy, and so for that it was interesting to have sat beside him for this flight. So yes, only one more flight to go, and that is to Chongqing, and for now I'm just looking forward to not getting on a plane tomorrow and just having a really good day at North Korea. So despite all of the sun that is currently in my face, it's so nice to be back in like 35 degrees in sun as well. It's just gorgeous here. But yeah, good night.